Hey guys, okay, so welcome back. I have been away for 2 weeks. Pretty sure you can all figure out why, because it was Christmas and then it was New Year and I had plans. Pretty much I was away seeing family over Christmas and then over New Year I was staying with my girlfriend, so I didn't really have enough time to record anything, but now we're back on track and it's 2015, so I hope you had a good New Year and it should not really change anything, to be honest. I'm just going to make videos, I'm going to hope they're good, I'm going to upload them, and then I'm going to get humiliated by people who don't like my videos. Yeah, so pretty much to start the new year, I'm going to talk about how people are dicks. And also the fact why I have this hat on, it's because I got a haircut today and I think it's too short of the minute to show. So, the hat stays on. I don't care if it looks bad. But yeah, I'm going to talk about why people are dicks. I know it's a very sort of harsh topic and I know people are going to be offended by it, but it is true. Every single place you look, there is someone who is pretty much a bully. And I know I've talked about bullies in my past before and stuff like this, but I have never talked about humanity as a whole, I don't think. Because over the new year, I managed to spend time with my girlfriend, like I said, and I managed to spend time with her younger brother. Hello. And pretty much he started talking to me and telling me that my videos were actually resonating with him, like it was making sense to him, everything I was saying was happening to him as well. And it just made me think it's because, for me, I was getting bullied because I was, to be honest, I was a bit of a weirdo. Like I was very different, I was very shy, I was kind of nerdy, I guess you could say, and people are harsh when it comes to that, but it's, what really annoys me is when people are isolated and picked on because they're different in maybe a physical way, maybe they're different because they have maybe a learning disability or something like this, and it's people pick on this, and that's pretty much disgusting. It's what I'd call it. I don't see why people find this funny. If someone has a disability, that's not something for you to pick on. That's something, yes, they have, but it shouldn't make them be treated as a different person. They are a person like you or me. They have feelings like you or me, but they don't need to be shown to be different. Maybe if they have something like Down syndrome or something like this, where it's quite an extreme thing, then if someone's picking on that, it's atrocious. Like they should not be doing this. It's completely outrageous. But even I've heard of cases where it's people, they just have something like dyslexia. It's not as extreme, but it is still there. It's still a disability. I was picked on, not as much, because luckily I'm in quite a nice area where my school is, but I was picked on for being diabetic, and that is a disability, medically. So medically I'm disabled, and people found this hilarious. They come up to me with chocolate bars, which at the time I was pretty much avoiding. Like, it was if I was allergic to chocolate or sugar in general, I was avoiding all this stuff. I was trying to be good, I was trying to manage my lifestyle, and people were coming up and rubbing sugar in my face. If you don't know what diabetes is, pretty much it's where the pancreas, which is what produces insulin, pancreas dies out and stops producing an insulin. Insulin is what converts glucose into glycose, or pretty much converts sugar into energy. So instead of having energy flowing around my body and my blood and stuff like this, I was just having sugar flow around my blood, and it's not good for you. It pretty much builds blood clots and all this stuff if it's not controlled, and it's not good for you. But luckily I have had such a great support from my family and friends and just like doctors in general. I've had such a great support, so it's been a lot easier for me. But I have heard of cases where people have been bullied so bad because of their disability of diabetes that it's actually started to cause them real problems at such a young age. I've had diabetes for about 7 years now. Yeah, about 6, 7 years, and I've just learned to live with it. But some people have had it all their life, and they've been told it's something you shouldn't be confident about. It's as if you should sort of shun it. It's shunned to have diabetes, or a disability in general. I'm just talking from my perspective here, but it may be the same with other people. I can't say what it's like to have Down syndrome because I don't have it. I'm not trying to be harsh here, I'm not trying to pick on people. These are just things that I know have happened to friends of mine or family. And Down syndrome, dyslexia, diabetes, ADHD, all this stuff, it's people I know have got it and they've been shunned for it, and it's not good. It's horrible what people are doing to it. But like I was saying before, someone I know has diabetes, they've had it since they were young. If they tell anyone about it, as if they've told them that they've killed someone. It's like they're scared to tell anyone because that's how they've been brought up. Their parents are pretty much ashamed of it, and that's not right. Luckily, my mum was very accepting of it, so was my dad, and all my family. They just sort of helped me get on with it. It's not something that makes me different, it's something that defines me as a person. It's something that makes me stand out from the crowd. It doesn't mean that I have to be judged just from you hearing that I have diabetes. It's not something that should mean that you look at me differently to someone who doesn't have it. The same goes with all the other disabilities. This guy, he actually started to have real issues. If you don't control diabetes, you can lose eyesight, you can lose feeling in your legs, your feet, your hands. You can have real heart problems, you can have problems with your kidneys, with your bladder, you can have problems with anything pretty much if you don't control your diabetes. And it does get very dangerous. It's quite scary what happens to people who don't control it. And this guy started to lose sensation in his fingers. He is 3 years younger than me. I'm nearly 18. So at the age of maybe 16, 17, he could lose all sensation in his hands. And that's not something you want when you're not even an adult yet. That will be something that you will regret for the rest of your life if you don't manage it. Pretty much all I'm trying to say is, maybe you might find it funny if someone looks different. Yes, it does make them stand out from the crowd, but they don't have to be picked on for it. If you can make them feel special, believe me, from my experiences, it does mean an awful lot. If you can just talk to them as a real person and not as someone who has a disability, it means so much to them. Just maybe think, if you are someone who does pick on people, or you know someone who does and you sit back and do nothing, maybe think about how it is affecting that person. It may be funny to you, it may be funny to the person picking on them, but to that person it resonates very deeply. It isn't a good feeling, as you can probably figure out. There are cases of bullying where it's like someone said the wrong answer, or they pronounced a name wrong, or they maybe tripped over. Bullying in general is horrible. That's a low form of bullying. That's kind of, you're picking on them and making them feel smaller than you. Picking on someone with a disability which they can't help, they can't change, they can't do anything about it. That is probably the lowest form of bullying you can go. That's probably the worst you can go. Yeah, pretty much all I want to say is, don't be that person. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe, like, share this video. If this does resonate with you, then please don't be ashamed to tell people, and I will see you whenever.